Hello, I am Raziel, and Horus Heresy is getting bigger. Soon it's going to be bigger than 40k. You think I'm joking? Look at it a little bit logically. You have the big tabletop game, Horus Heresy 2.0, Adeptus Titanicus, Imperialis Aeronautica, which of course has a Horus Heresy rulebook, and soon Epic. Another game I am excited to play. Once again, the two factions are both Astartes, with some Mechanicus allies. The Astartes seem to be Imperial Fists and Son of Horus, and of course there is no other legion they could use. And it's probably going to be taking part during the Siege of California. These are some of my hopes for Epic, because damn, I loved it back in the day. First is with Titanicus and Aeronautica being the same scale, their models are compatible with Epic. With that, to remain their own game too, so Titanicus and Aeronautica won't disappear. With that, it will make Epic the most cost-effective game. Like, if you bought all three boxes, you would have a fantastic army which is varied with, big knights and titans to all your mainline troops. So this would boost your army so much, it'd be fantastic, and I think it would be great. But also increase the chance of people buying another game, a different game. Like, you buy Epic and then you buy Adeptus Titanicus to get the models, cut price, and you'll suddenly start building a force for that army for that game too. Talking of Aeronautica, it needs to be like that and have rules for 40k and Horus Heresy. It really says something that Games Workshop spin-off game, Horus Heresy, which is kind of spin-off of 40k, has more games around its setting than their own main flagship game. I get it, you only have to make one army to begin with and say they are two forces. It's a great way to save money. It also means people getting into Epic have a good beginner army without having to really split the box. Yet it kind of alienates a massive number of Games Workshop already existing customers who want to play their Xenos or successor chapters in the smaller scale. Now, going with this, put the factions rules in the main rulebook. Failing that, completely free to download. It is getting embarrassing, but every other game company is doing either of these two things, and Games Workshop is lagging behind. Mantic just gave away a physical rulebook for just the price of postage. I know this because I got one, with most of the faction rules inside. Pretty much they were doing it because they have to add the new faction rules in. Now, with Games Workshop, if I was to buy any of their games, I still need to buy the rulebook and an extra book to play that faction. It is embarrassing for Games Workshop as a company to be so far behind every other company. The guys are the big dogs. Soon, when people start thinking about how much something costs, and if they still want to play tabletop, they will be going elsewhere. An extra £30 book is an extra box from another company. You see, that's the problem. Anyway, next, honestly, this was one that needs to be mentioned and something that needs to stop now in all their games, like every single game. They need to stop kowtowing to the tournament players. They're not your bread and butter. They're not GW's bread and butter. They are the minority of players. They also suck. I know it's going to upset some people, but good, because Games Workshop needs to stop listening to them. Doing this, actually listening to them, caused the power creep of 8th and 9th, which has produced the two worst editions of 40k I have ever played. And I've been playing since 2nd. And I'm not joking, I've literally been playing since 2nd. Actually, kind of first. My first game was Tyrannid Attack. So yeah, kind of first, but for Warhammer 40k itself since 2nd. And with it, I've never missed a single edition box. And honestly, this kind of behaviour has made me not get 10th. I'm not thinking of getting Leviathan. I'm just going to get the rulebook because I don't really need dice. I don't need the Space Marines. I don't need the Tyrannids. So I have no reason to get that. I'll get the rulebook, but honestly, even then, with it being free, why would I? Make Epic for the people who will play it for fun. People who sit at their own table and play with friends. And they're probably going to get more people into it because they're playing in an area which is comfortable for them. They can have a couple of beers, you know, chilling out with mates. And they give Games Workshop the most money because they are dedicated to one army. And believe it or not, dedicated to one army will give GW more money. People who flip-flop will always get the combat patrol box. People who dedicate to, you know, all the money-saving boxes. People who dedicate to one army will end up buying the single boxes that they need. They don't need to keep buying combat patrol boxes, so they're not going to keep buying them. They will buy the individual units. Look, I need a sentinel. Why would I buy a whole combat patrol box when I need one sentinel? You know? I know it comes in there. Because of what, you're saving money? He's like, yeah, but I don't need the other things. So I'm going to build that for my army. That's what I need. Anyway, let's go back to the factions rules. Have them all available from the start. All of them available to the public. Every last one of them. No waiting months or even years for them. Even if the models are not available out. You know, like, let's say the Basilisk, right? You're doing Imperialis Militia and Medusa Basilisk, right? If you've not got the model out, get the rules out. Get the rules out so people can look at them and see if they're worth getting when it drops. And this was actually a way GW did it for years and years and years. Like, I still have codices. Like, my 3rd edition Eldar Codex has 2 named characters that never had models. Okay? So yeah, just have these rules out. Have them out now. Have them out ready, so people can read them up and see, you know, what's going to be happening, what's coming up against. It also gives a chance to people to play their favourite faction from day one. They're not going to have to wait, you know, oh, I've got to wait until, you know, Custodes army drops. And that gives me no incentive to buy the starter box at all. If I want to do Custodes, if I want to do Imperialis Militia, if I want to do Mechanicus. If you're only going to, you know, support and have the rules for Space Marines, people are just going to wait. And I know people wait. Anyway, basic armies ready to purchase as well. Honestly, have the rules and a basic army ready for them to purchase from day one. Have it from day one. It'll be fantastic for everyone because we'll go. Because think about how many people are going to save money and go, right, I want to get epic, right? People go, well, I need a rulebook, so I'll buy the starter box. I'm doing Astartes. We'll go, well, I don't want to do Astartes. I want to do Imperialis Militia. I'm going to buy the rulebook and my army. It's going to give you more money this way. It's just something that needs to be done. Honestly, it's something I want GW to do because it would be fantastic for everyone. The ability just to play the army you want from the start and buy the rulebook is just going to be beneficial for everyone. Now, we talk about the Horus Heresy main game. Seamless campaign integration. Just allowing campaigns to go from epic to larger scale games is one of the best fun anyone will ever have. Even when Battlefleet Gothic and Inquisitor were a thing, those who remember how big the Inquisitor model was, games expanded even further. It was fantastic. I ran a campaign which lasted for about 2 weeks. We went from Battlefleet Gothic to Epic to 40k to finally Inquisitor. To win the game. Basically, your Inquisitor had to steal or defend something. And to win. It was fantastic. It lasted ages. And this is just so much fun. This will literally sell you games. Games Workshop. Especially narrative games like myself. Like, if this would literally get me to buy the starter box. If they said, yeah, we're doing a campaign integration flawlessly, so you can continue your story in Horus Heresy 2.0 from Epic, or, you know, continue it into Epic. This would just be great, and that would be fantastic. Now, finally, it's going to be the most controversial. Sod, resin, and Forge World. It's not as good as Games Workshop Plastic in detail or just how robust the material is. GW Plastic is great. It has better detail. It's far superior to Forge World resin. Honestly, that side company's continued existence baffles me. It is also cheaper making it. And it's also more profitable because people buy more because it costs less. Okay, people say, this is something like people don't seem to understand. If I buy a squad of Cataphracti Terminators for Space Force, I buy the Space Force Terminators. That will give me a squad of Cataphracti and Thuringia Terminator Squad for £10 more than just a Fair & Gear Terminator Squad. Why would I buy that? Why would I spend £75 on that? Honestly, it's like, do you want to spend £43 on a steak or £100 on a burger? Keep Resin away from Epic. We're only going to hurt the game in the long run. It's a lot of big YouTubers I've noticed have gone away from Epic now, from Forge World, and they're starting to say, yeah, Resin's just not that good. Even if you're making the big models, it's not that good, and it's not good. Resin is not a good model. It's not, and I don't care which company does this. Resin is never a substitute for plastic. Plastic, and the way it is now, it's just so much better. Just keep it all plastic. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this little bit of a video of what I hope to see from Epic. I hope it wasn't too complainy, because I actually do want the Epic. I think it's fantastic. It's one of my favourite games I did play when I was younger. I used to run scenes on that one. I actually had Magnus. I actually had the Epic Magnus. That was so cool. Loved that model. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Link to Wayland games down below if you wish to save 20% on your Warhammer, up to 20% on your Warhammer. For Forbidden Planet if you want comics, my merchandise, and of course Patreon if you want a shout out at the end of every episode. Honestly, you will get a shout out. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.